Welcome to the Client Introduction mini course where we will learn about the best practices for maximizing your collaboration with Uplers talent. Once again, I'm Cheryl Obal. I'm very pleased to be here with you, and let's jump right into it. So what will we learn in this course? First of all, we will learn about amazing India in lesson 1, the positives of working with people from India, some interesting facts about India and Indian holidays. In lesson 2, we will look at Indian culture, the communication style, and the main cultural values. And finally, in lesson 3, we will look at the best practices in working with virtual talent, how to set clear expectations from the beginning, establish a communication protocol, some quality control mechanisms, and finally, dealing with changes or issues. All right, so welcome to lesson 1, Amazing India. So what are the positives of working with Indians? As you probably already know, they have vast technical expertise and know-how. They're among the best in the world with technical fields. They have a very flexible mindset and a can-do, positive, proactive approach to work. You can always expect this consistent, positive attitude. They have the ability to learn fast and a great facility with self-instruction. So if you need them to learn a new skill, you can count on them to find a way to learn it or to do a course on their own and figure out how to apply a new skill in a very short period of time. Then they have this amazing calmness of mind and the ability to maintain control under pressure. This is something I really admire about Indian culture, how they can remain so calm in the face of a lot of stress and troubles. And then they are consistently supportive and they have a client-focused mindset and an orientation towards outcomes. Finally, they're very easily to get along with and to work together with. They generally have excellent interpersonal skills. All right, so moving on, some interesting facts about India, maybe some that you know or maybe some that you didn't know. First of all, India has a massive population of 1.4 billion. There are 3 major ethnic groups, Indo-Aryans, Dravidians, and Mongolians. And there are almost 7,000 ultra-high net individuals with assets over $30 million and 140 billionaires. So this might surprise you to know they are 3rd in the world for the number of billionaires. Then there are many religions. India is very, very diverse. And as you can see, the percentages, mostly Hindu, then some Muslim, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, and then some other sprinkling of other religions as well. Then there are 28 states in India and 23 national languages, but actually there are hundreds more languages. This is just the number of national languages, but there are many, many more additional languages that are spoken throughout all of India. Every state has different culture, different language, different cuisines, different religions represented, different ethnic groups. And all throughout India, you can find this vast diversity. So English is the common language in the South and Hindi is the common language in the North, generally speaking. Now, all across India, you'll find that most Indians speak both English and Hindi. But since there are so many different languages, they also need a common language between themselves. And normally when you travel around in the North, you'll hear that Hindi is the language spoken between them, whereas in the South, English is the language spoken between them. There is a 75% literacy rate. You may be surprised to know that chess actually originated there 1,500 years ago. India's film industry, Bollywood, which I'm sure you've heard of, produces 1,500 to 2,000 films per year. And the Indian IT industry is worth $150 billion, with 67% of the world's outsourcing all done in India. Then, it is one of the few countries in the world that has a half-hour time zone. It's 5.5 hours of UTC, or Coordinated Universal Time, 9.5 hours ahead of the East Coast of the US. All right, so for just a minute, let's talk a little bit about Indian holidays. As you can probably imagine, with the vast diversity in India, the different religions and ethnic groups and traditions that exist, there are many different holidays as well. Many different colorful occasions, many different festive periods of the year. All right, so now I'm just going to go through a few of the common holidays This is by no means an exhaustive list, but let's say that these are some of the major holidays, the holidays that are most commonly celebrated throughout India. Okay, so you may recognize some of these names, of course, New Year's Day, like we celebrate in the Western world. Then they have Ramadan, like they have in the Muslim world, because there's a percentage of Indian population which is Muslim. Of course, the dates move every year. The same for Eid. Eid is the festival following Ramadan or Ramzan. Easter, of course, shifts a few days every year. And you can see some of the similar names of holidays and some new ones as well. Okay, so all of these different holidays kind of reflect the variety and the diversity in traditions and religions and different celebrations that happen throughout India across the whole year. All right. So, the one thing to remember is that not all holidays are celebrated by everyone, of course. You may be thinking, oh no, so many holidays, when will they work? No, it's actually that they choose certain holidays which are according to their own traditions. Okay, so you just have to ask your talent which holidays he or she will be observing. It's a good thing to know in advance. They have to choose and select and indicate to Uplers which holidays they will be celebrating. And if you want to see the full list of Indian holidays, you can go ahead and check out the link that I've put below this lesson for you.
Keep in mind that there are many Indian holidays which carry a special emotional significance. They are central to their culture and they may choose to have a day off from work for certain holidays which we either don't have in the Western world or we wouldn't necessarily take a day off for. One example is the Hindu holiday Raksha Bandhan in August, in which one of the rituals involves tying a bracelet on your sibling's wrist and exchanging gifts, which signifies the strong emotional bond that Indians have with their siblings. Remember that India is a very family-oriented society, and certain holidays with rituals attached to them involving the family are very important to them.
All right, so that concludes this very short lesson, and you may move on to lesson 2.